Hi everyone, so I'm at the High Line in New York City, and today I'm going to talk about taking action. And you can see there's quite a few people about. It's a very nice day. It's very unseasonably warm. I don't even think that this is necessary actually. I think I'm going to talk along the lines of creating small habits, imperfectionism, and iteration, going through different versions of things. And I'll try to give some examples along the way. Definitely want to give credit to, I think his name is Stephen Guise. He wrote a version of creating small habits called Mini Habits. I'm very aware that there's also other seemingly related books, Atomic Habits. I think that there's another one that's similar. For some reason it's escaping me. And the basic idea around it is that you don't want the size of a given task, like the activation energy, to prevent you from starting to do something. And piano practice is an excellent example. Like when we think of today I'm going to have to practice an hour, or perhaps it's 30 minutes, right? For a casual learner, 25 minutes a day, that could be a very big ordeal, it seems like. And can you just dedicate yourself to practicing 1 minute, as ridiculous as that seems, right? Can you commit yourself, no excuses, no matter how tired you are at the end of the day, assuming you're practicing at the end of the day, you're going to practice that 1 minute. But work is very busy, and I've got lots of important projects going on, I've got family stuff, but just practice for 1 minute before you go to sleep, or maybe right after you brush your teeth. Could be first thing in the morning, no excuses. And I think the example that Stephen Guise gave was more along the lines of fitness, of just doing one push-up. It could even be 30 seconds of piano playing. And so you get used to that activation energy of kind of, no matter what happens, you just go ahead and do the thing before you even have time to think about, reason with yourself about why not to do it, create lies for yourself as to why not to do it. Because it's less energy to just go ahead and do that very tiny task. And, like I mentioned earlier, there's a number of books that I think talk along those same lines. It's up to your own creativity, what sorts of, small habits, mini habits, atomic habits, and so on, these things may be. It could be a certain number of minutes. It could be a certain goal. It could be even adopting a certain mindset, like even just thinking about the thing each day. That seems almost too small to be of any significance, but it can start to change the way that you think day by day. So I really credit that book with changing a lot of my thinking about habit formation, although there's a lot of great books about building habits out there. But this is the easiest way to start. And I think the author's style, sometimes it can even be a little bit cheesy or corny, but overall in a good way. It's helped me to remember a lot of the examples. It's very approachable, and I recommend that piano students do very much the same thing, even the advanced ones, because it's that consistency that really makes a huge difference in your practice and in your life. And so on the really busy days, maybe you really do just practice that 1 minute or 30 seconds. And but on other days when anything is going for you at all, you might think, well, I've already practiced a minute. It's actually harder to not practice for the next 4 minutes, for instance. Or you might find that it's turned into a 45-minute practice session. But if you had thought, I'm going to practice for 45 minutes now, you wouldn't have started it in the first place, right? So that's one thing. Imperfectionism, I really love this because I think in many ways, because of OCD and things like that I've suffered from in the past, I would think of perfectionism as this sort of a brag that doesn't even make sense. I'm such a perfectionist, right? That's the reason why I am spending so much time on this or that given thing. But it's really not rational, right? Rationally speaking, perfect really doesn't exist, being human. And so it literally is illogical to spend too much time on a given thing, or to not even start things because you want it to be perfect, and it never will be, honestly. So imperfectionism is also about, or it is about just going ahead and doing things, not waiting for the optimal conditions, right? So if you want to go to the gym and you want to wait until you can do a perfect half-hour workout, 1-hour workout, you want your gym clothes to all be ready, you don't want, any kind of small injuries or small bits of soreness, right? Everything has to be ideal before you can even go. Many times you're going to find an excuse to not go. Many times you're going to find an excuse to not even get up out of bed to go to the gym because maybe you had a really late night. Maybe you have a lot of distractions. You've got a lot of stress going on for the day. And instead, we just want to embrace these like suboptimal conditions, which are honestly going to be the case most of the time, or a lot of the time. And when I was doing like 100-piece challenge, 150-piece challenge, I was recording at my dad's house a lot of the time. Sometimes the piano wasn't tuned. I didn't have fancy equipment. There wasn't, there weren't always like great angles. And I just stopped caring. I'm like, well, it's better to just record this than to not record it, right? The sound is just going to be what it is. The video is just going to be what it is. We just go ahead and do it. And then when I was, recording lots of videos for Instagram as well too, it was similar. It's like, what's going to make this the easiest to do, right? And just get all of the difficult things out of the way, all the imperfect conditions, right? If one of my cats shows up all of a sudden, if there's like other things in the background that aren't ideal, if like somebody like just was like texting me just now and distracting me while recording this video, there's going to be little things that happen, and you think to yourself, like, every imperfect condition is a chance to still prove to myself my own consistency and to take action really no matter what comes up. And I think these videos are in some ways an even better example, because when I was doing 100, 150 of these challenges, at least it needed to be like silent in the background. At least I had to like set my phone up on the stand. But I wanted to start creating YouTube videos, and it seemed really intimidating. It seemed really time consuming, especially with a lot of other stuff I have going on professionally and personally. And then I was really influenced by one or two mentors, either through talking with them directly or through just watching their videos. And basically, I felt I was given permission, first of all, to just have unscripted videos. I mean, these videos, as you can see, they are not planned out. In fact, before I used to have bullet points that were planned out. I'm not going to write out a whole script like some YouTubers do. Well, first of all, I don't have any editing, right? It's obviously just one take all the way through if you've seen my other videos. There's no cuts. There's no fanciness to it at all. It is exactly like it would be if you were talking with me in real life and I wasn't being a very good listener, I guess. And I used to write out bullet points. And even that, it was kind of time-consuming, energy-consuming, so I just stopped doing that. I don't even write out bullet points. It's completely unscripted. On top of that, I didn't even know what the topic of this video was until literally right before I started recording it. I did think to myself before I started, like, are there even 2 or 3 points that I could think of? I'm like, all right. And I tried it once, lost my train of thought, started it over, and here we are. We're 9 minutes into this video that 11 minutes ago I didn't even, have any idea of the topic for. So, and this is going to end up uploaded. And if I hadn't had this mindset, again, with all these people around, sometimes there were people that would show up and like sit next to me while I was recording, and that's totally fine. I don't care what anybody else is thinking of this or of me, because I've got more important things to do. So that's kind of getting into other mindset stuff. But oh, sir, you dropped your case. Yeah. Sorry, you dropped your case.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. Well, somebody dropped their I guess it was their glasses case or something, and they didn't hear me at all. Sorry about that. So you can see the professional quality of this production. I think very briefly I will just, and I'm not doing the video over again, right? It just is what it is. And the third thing is, I think I mentioned, was just like iteration, right? Of just improving. And I'm probably going to say this story all wrong, but I mean, the iPhone, from what I've heard, is a great example, right? When the iPhone 1 came out, I think it had its share of problems, right? It definitely was not, what we see today, but they came out with it, right? They came out with this smartphone. Other people didn't really react to it, and then Apple just kept improving. They created the next version, right? I believe there was a 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And by the time everybody else realized what was happening, it was just impossible to ever completely catch up again. And all because Apple just went ahead and just made the thing, and then they just iterated from there. They just improved upon it each time. So it's the same thing with these mini habits, with imperfectionism. Sorry if mini habits is copyrighted, but these small habits or whatever they may be, right? We make the thing, like if I'm making these YouTube videos and I think a few months from now, hey, you know what? Maybe I want to start to have some better production value, or I want to script out things, or I want to have somebody else help me make these. I can do that, but it's a lot easier because I've already been making them. Or if I'm practicing, like, I really want to have like 1 hour practice sessions. Well, if you're having 1 minute practice sessions, it's way easier to work up to it than if you had 0 minute practice sessions. And if you want to make YouTube videos, if you want to teach better, if you want to advance in business, just do the thing. The time it takes for you to think about, should I do this because I still have to, just do it. Just go ahead and just do it. I think the writing of the complete fingering of a given piano piece, right? That was one of the other videos recently. That is part of the reason why I do it. The time I need to think about, should I write this fingering or not, I might as well just write it, right? So just value action above thought. I mean, within reason. You don't want to do completely random things. But for the most part, when you think you need to convince yourself, like, I need to get myself in the right frame of mind and the right, type of situation and the right mood to take action. I need to wait until I'm motivated. You don't need to do that. Just take action. Just err on the side of action. And once you begin taking action regularly, your thoughts will then follow from there. You'll start to become more and more motivated. Like, I felt motivated to make this because I already made a whole bunch of other YouTube videos. So I feel quite inspired to continue. Anyway, hope this was helpful. I hope that this video recorded everything, even with interruptions and people around me talking. But it seems like the audio's been all right up to this point. So yeah, please like and subscribe if you found this valuable. As you can see, sometimes it might be about piano practice. Sometimes it might be about a whole bunch of other things. So yeah, feel free to comment also. Let me know what you think, and looking forward to next time.